It can be hard to get along with family, and even harder if your twin wants to kill you.
To Gina, it was a diabolically perfect plan. She would kill her twin sister, assume her identity, and no one would ever know it happened.
On Killer Kin, a podcast from ID, you'll hear true stories about family members who turn against each other. Find out if evil is a family trait. Listen to Killer Kin on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Hey, I'm Ryan Reynolds. At Mint Mobile, we like to do the opposite of what Big Wireless does. They charge you a lot, we charge you a little. So naturally, when they announced they'd be raising their prices due to inflation, we decided to deflate our prices due to not hating you. That's right. We're cutting the price of Mint Unlimited from $30 a month to just $15 a month. Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
$45 upfront payment equivalent to $15 per month. New customers on first 3-month plan only. Taxes and fees extra. Speed slower above 40 gigabytes. See details.
Hello, and welcome to The Old Fools, the podcast for silly old people like me. Can't even remember what happened in the last half hour. I'm Ian Martin, state pensioner, and I'll be back next week with my regular co-host David Quantick. Until then, goodbye, and don't forget...
That was weird. I am actually here, listeners. You'll be pleased to know that Ringo has not left the building. I'm delighted to be here. I'm delighted to be anywhere, as the old joke goes, but I'm particularly delighted because our co-host, me and Ian's co-host, is literally a legend, like a dragon or something. She's a writer, she's a journalist, she's an author. She was one of the founding posts of smash hits in the old days, and now her career continues. She started at a peak and has flatlined since. With that introduction, I'm astounded that our co-host is Sylvia Patterson. Hello, Sylvia.
Hello, I'm Sylvia, and I'm an old dragon.
Has anything got on anyone's tits this week?
Well, I'm not sure about the tits element, but as I have become an old person, my favourite distraction in the whole world from, World War III and all the hell on the news and all of those things is sport. So I'm always interested in what's happening in the Premier League, particularly because I've now become a massive fan of the Arsenal women's football team, and I'm a regular at the Emirates and all that business. So I'm interested in stadiums. Now, Man United's new Old Trafford caught my eye, principally because of the artist's impression, if you like, the video that they have about it. I'm sure you must have seen it.
Yeah.
And it was about halfway through, I thought, okay, it's blue skies overhead beyond belief here. There's actual sunbeams bursting down upon the heads of the punters. And I thought to myself, where is the rain? Where is the grey skies? This is Manchester. This looks like it's happening in Dubai. And then I thought to myself, this is the kind of vision that Donald Trump would have for Trump Gaza. And that to me is what Manchester's trying to be. It's trying to be Dubai. Why would Manchester do that to itself? It's Billy Smart's flying circus in Dubai is what's happening in Manchester. But that is it was an observation more than anything that I was particularly riled about.
I don't follow sport because it's just running, as far as I can tell. But when did Dubai become the benchmark? Because when I was a kid, sports people had enormous baggy trousers, ran around smoking on the pitch, and basically the aim of the game seemed to be to get covered in mud. Now it just seems to go, isn't Dubai like the biggest fucking shithole in the entire universe? Isn't it like a black hole of shite?
Well, Isabel Oakeshott lives there now, and Richard Tice visits, and the worst people in the world have apartments there. It's like Croydon, but bigger and mentholated. It's from what I've seen, it's horrible. But I like the idea of the Glazer Gaza for Man United. Norman Foster, of course, who did the architect, who did the Gherkin in London and many, many other brilliant buildings. But when I first saw it, I was astonished because he said they're going to be building a stadium next to the existing one, and I thought there'll be like 2 stadiums. And I thought that's quite a good idea, having one in reserve. And then, given the housing shortage, I thought, why can't you just have like replicas of or versions of places so that there's more room to build houses? You can have like an extra Isle of Wight, because you can get everybody in the world on the Isle of Wight. Technically, you could just have another one just moored off the existing one.
Well, there you're solving the housing crisis here, Ian, aren't you? It's
I am.
Bring this man in to government, is what I'm saying.
Thanks for listening, everybody, and we'll be back next week.
The thing about Dubai, haven't they got all these awful things like shaped peninsulas.
Yes,
Yeah,
they
Rod
do.
In the shape of... They're Rod
Yeah.
Stewart.
Rod Stewart got Scotland, didn't he? He bought Scotland.
Did he?
Did he?
I think so, yeah.
That sounds like him, right enough.
Wow, he's already got a football pitch in his garden.
Which I always thought was fabulous.
He's got a football pitch in his garden, and he's got a train set. And I have to say, how much time can you spend playing with a train set? Because you just got to go, there it goes, under the tunnel. Right, fuck this. I'm going out to play football on my pitch.
Is that how it works, is it? Oh, before we go any further, can I just fucking say something? The Apple transcript of last week's podcast instantly turned me into some fucking racist. Sally Hughes was talking about the price of Glastonbury tickets, and all I said was, well, you're joking. 750 knicker, £750. And the Apple transcript, you know where this is going. Apparently, I said your N-word, and I said fucking 750 knicker. So thank you, fucking Apple, you bloody racist enabling tease made.
One of my least favourite things on the internet now is the meme of, dear autocorrect, what are the chances that I meant to type fuck me in the face with a nuclear weapon instead of potato salad? You're like, the chances are absolute, and they just get more. What are the chances? I meant to write, ride me round the room, Winston Churchill, and cover me with your sloppy wet kisses, instead of potato salad. We're all doomed. That is my theme.
No, I think only half of us are doomed, because everyone's talking about AI taking over the world and everything. But I read this horrifying story about microplastics in everybody's brain, and my instant reaction was, that sounds good. Because the more the better, as far as I'm concerned. Because I think the future lies in, whatever, mental plasticity, rather than bloody Elon Musk and his fucking clanking tin man cyber fuckery. And I think the polarization of the world will be between plastic intelligence and metal intelligence. And I'm with the plastic.
You're going
people.
for plastic. Okay.
Yeah, fuck metal, Mickey. It's all about plastic. Move up a gear. Microplastics in the brain makes you more supple and nimble in your thinking.
I'm not sure. What do you think, Sylvia?
Go to your sinking and take a big bite out of your washing bowl. Have a big munch on your washing bowl, and then see how your brains are after you've had a bit of a go on that this morning. That's what I would say.
Delicious plastic chewing. I think the one advantage of microplastics in the body is that if you fell off a ship, you would float. Yeah, because you'd be mostly Evian bottle. I'm presuming that's the main thing.
Also, if you fell out of a sidecar or something on the road, a busy road, if you're mostly plastic, you'll be fine. You'll be bounced along the M6 onto the hard shoulder, call the AA, sorted.
Just shouted, it's all right, I'm mostly plastic. Bang. The man, who has not been identified, said that he was mostly plastic, but just don't sit too close to the fire.
What fire? There are no fires in the future. It's a plastic future, David Quantick. We're not going to set fire to our fucking world, are we?
Oh, afraid it already is.
I fell into a burning ring of plastic.
My main complaint of the week is still internet related, and it's not owning things. It's like, I tried to open a file on my computer the other day to write a damning review of Radiohead or someone like that, and it said, you must sign in to use this. It's like, fuck off. It's my piece of paper. You don't sign into... So I signed in, and it said, what is your... And I told them my address, what is your password? And then it said, what is your email address? So I put it in, and it said... And I went round like this for several hours. Then it said, you must activate your subscription. I'm not activating my bloody subscription. And it's just everywhere, this. You don't own things. You go on Netflix. It's like, oh, good. The Battle of Algiers or some other film I'm pretending I want to see. It's on Netflix. Fantastic. I'll flog all my DVDs to Poundland along with the feeder CDs. Absolutely brilliant. And then it's like next week, the Battle of Algiers is no longer here. And even if you had paid for it, it's gone. You don't own anything. You are renting your life.
I've only got this watermelon till Thursday.
We're doing prop gags now, are we? Fucking crazy gang.
Nobody can see us, Quad. It doesn't really matter. Who knows if I held up a fucking watermelon or not? Nobody knows.
Well, wait, so your argument for producing a watermelon is nobody can see it anyway. Surely that's an argument for not... Sylvia, can you show us a watermelon? or other fruit in your house?
I've got a water bottle. Plastic, Ian.
The only plastic thing I've got is this. And nobody wants that.
No, nobody ever did want that.
Oh, also, bit of listener feedback. Thanks to Gary Percival on Blue Sky, who points out that the Daily Mirror is now reinforcing its online presence by commenting on its own stories on social media. So there's a terrible disaster in Chechnya or whatever, and they actually comment underneath. Devastating, and my heart goes out. I think we should start doing that. I'll start doing that. Hang on. Love David Quantick's observation on whatever the fuck it was.
You've forgotten already, bloody hell.
Sorry, I ran out of sentence there.
Maybe the watermelon could take over from you, Ian.
It probably could. The watermelon gag was brilliant this week.
The whole of I'm ignoring him. The whole of social media is just people comment. The thing I don't get is the repost. Alan Thompson reposted Alan Thompson's post. I agree with myself. And then I went to a detective novelist conference once, and an author who will remain nameless got up and basically admitted to sock puppetry, that he would review his own books under 5 or 6 different accounts.
Wow. That's dedication for sure.
He's very hardworking. It was worth it though, because I was sitting next to a thriller writer called Mark Billingham who shouted "wanker" at him, which is not the kind of. I approve of that sort of thing. People should shout "wanker" at random authors more often. Hey,
absolutely, wanker!
Ladies and gentlemen, Kate Atkinson, fuck off.
I don't know what's happening in YouGov land, but YouGov. Did you see the YouGov poll? Which said, I think, in the wake of the beavers being reintroduced to wherever it was, which animals would Britain support reintroducing to the UK? What the fuck are you doing, YouGov? It's not who would you vote for in the local elections. Which animals would Britain support reintroducing to the UK? Obviously, birds of prey. Who would want to see a peregrine falcon majestically circling over Asda or whatever? Wading birds, beavers, wildcats. Then it gets interesting because 34% of people want to reintroduce lynxes, and 31%, it's nearly a third of Britons apparently, want to reintroduce wolves. And I would like to know where they would like to introduce wolves, because it could certainly keep the fox population down in London, don't you think?
Wolves are just big foxes, though, aren't they?
Are they? What?
Yeah, they're just like the Cybertruck of foxes.
Right. Okay. So foxes are just like big mice or something.
In the hierarchy of animals, it goes wolves, foxes, big mice.
I love foxes. How dare you?
Rats. What about rats? Would they eat rats? We reintroduce wolves into fucking London, and they'll all be going around in packs to every chicken shop, getting the foxes. That could be a good solution.
The grey squirrels, who could probably eat them. Too many of them, I would say. I'm not having this with the foxes, by the way. I love me foxes. I live next door to a park, and we see them a lot. But yes, too many squirrels, man. Too many squirrels.
I think the more interesting conversation would be about which animals would you like to de-introduce to Britain? And who needs fucking magpies, for a start? They can shit off. They're horrible. They're the most horrible fucking bird in existence. They're murdering fucking arseholes.
I'll tell you my issue with magpies. It's just the fucking saying hello crap. I'd never heard of this superstition until I moved to Hastings. Suddenly it's like everyone's going like, oh, you have to say, good morrow, sire magpie, otherwise you die. And it's fucking exhausting. I live basically in Magpie Central. So you want to say good morrow, sir magpie, good morrow, sir. It's like this other weird thing that happened, nothing to do with animals, so who cares, which is crossing the road and going, thank you. Of course, you probably live in urban environments. In most of the country, you cross the road and you have to go, thanks for stopping your car. I'm so grateful. People get really ratty if you don't thank them.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I think we should eradicate magpies because they're fucking horrible. They swag around the neighbourhood. Oh, there's some nice blackbird chicks. Get out of the way, Mr. Blackbird. I'm going to fucking eat them. They're bigger. They're horrible. They're bigger and tougher than all the birds in the neighbourhood. They're like they're fucking IDF of the avian world. they can go. And jackdaws, they get on my tits, make a fucking racket. What else? Mosquitoes, obviously. Let's get rid of them, right? Horseflies, ticks, horses. What about horses? Get rid of horses.
Horses are nice.
They all right? The travelling community uses horses, but who else uses fucking horses? Now, the police, well, they can just go on fucking robot horses now, can't they? We're talking about animals.
Sylvia, is there any praying God here? The answer is yes. Is there any animal that you would like to see gotten rid of?
I was just thinking actually about the reintroduction of the woolly mammoth. I think that's happening on the face of the earth.
Really? Is it coming back?
I think it is, yeah. They're regenerating it or something, aren't they? That would be quite interesting, I suppose.
It'll be years before we get that in the north, as usual.
But it'll be all on the school runs because everyone at Hampstead will be like, oh, I don't want an SUV anymore. I don't want one of them Chelsea tractors. I want a woolly mammoth. And all the kids come to school in a howdah on the back of a woolly mammoth. And everyone's honking, going, get out the way with your woolly mammoth.
Mammoth envy breaking out.
Yeah, and then we'll all be saying, yeah, I'll tell you what we need to get rid of, fucking woolly mammoths. And it's the same with horses now. Horses, I mean, yeah, they're lovely people. No, I'm just
people.
I'm just asking the question, as they say on the news all the time. I'm just asking, do we need horses? There are some lovely people, harmless people riding around on horses. That's great. As you say, the occasional copper, the occasional traveller.
Posh people these days as well, aren't they? You do equine therapy.
Horses.
What, that malarkey goes on these days?
What's that? You're talking about psychiatrists for horses?
Yes. No.
Aromatherapy for fucking horses? What the fucking world's coming to?
With the mentals, you're put into a paddock, I don't know, with a couple of horses and you're miraculously cured.
Of what?
Being mental.
Hatred of horses. Fuck horses. There, I said it.
I like horses. They're big ponies. And everyone likes ponies.
This is like the Today programme. Fuck horses. I hate them. Yeah, you say, oh, do you know, on the other hand, I really like horses. I think they're great. And I say, yeah, but what about the arseholes who pretend they're not fox hunting on them? Right?
And now Kate Atkinson.
I thought you wanted to eat the foxes anyway. What's the matter with you?
Where are we now? I'm completely lost here.
Can you imagine opening all the gates to the zoo cages at the same time? Good luck, everybody.
Sirens going off. Meerkats running down the road.
Yeah, sounds a bit like the United States of America, doesn't it?
Oh, it is. Oh, that's very good. It's a menagerie.
A bit of political bridging there, if anyone's got anything.
Menagerie 2 with Ben Stiller as the woolly mammoth.
Jimmy Nail as the
he's doing the soundtrack
as the rogue slug.
I had a meeting with him once I worked for a Jonathan Ross show, and there was a writers' meeting where Jimmy was brought in to discuss ideas, and there was a big table of, curly sandwiches, and Jimmy Nail said, my writers don't get sandwiches. It was really menacing.
Yeah. Sorry, just typing a little comment on that. Love David. I look forward every week to David Quantick's Showbiz Memories. And this week's was an absolute corker.
And the cuddly sandwiches.
At least I've got fucking memories.
Sylvia, have you got hatred of litter?
And noise, yes. These are the old people's concerns that I find
they very much are
escalating in recent times. I think, again, because living next door to a park, if I see that my beautiful park being lit, it makes me insane. And it's the young people, and I have become the kind of person who blames the parents who brought these people up. Do you know what I mean? But
what are they doing in the park?
Littering, keep up.
Just cans of
littering.
And
fuck that, yeah.
And crisps and all that. Just halfway up the beautiful tree, you'll just see some of these, packet of quavers or whatever.
Yeah.
The other week it was so bad. A party had been happening in the woods part of the park.
Yeah.
And they actually left in the middle of the woods a broken down gazebo.
A gazebo.
What?
I mean, these people must have been reasonably middle class.
They brought their own gazebo.
They had an actual, but it was broken, and they just left it there in the middle of the woods.
It's like when they do that. They pan around Glastonbury at all the middle class arseholes who left their tents and sleeping bags and everything. And by the healing fields, there were these fucking burnt out gazebos.
Seriously,
carted down from everywhere.
I'd been thinking about how much unwanted noise bothers me a few days ago as well.
Ah.
I think because I'd been sitting on the tube and the fella next to me seemed to be blaring out loud what appeared to be some kind of a program. It was a conspiracy theory kind of rant about all the aviation disasters in America recently, but it was absolutely thunderingly blaring. And I think a few days beforehand, I'd been on a train somewhere, and somebody was blaring out whatever music it was, and I just thought, people just actually have absolutely zero regard for anybody else, don't they?
Yeah.
Absolutely none. I mean, it's really, really loud. And funnily enough, just yesterday, I saw this. It was a BBC report that said, how our noisy world is seriously damaging our health. It's an invisible killer. It's causing heart attacks, type 2 diabetes, and studies now even link it to dementia. Noise. It's actually killing us, quite frankly. Do you know what I mean? And there's a little diagram here of the human body. It goes in your ear, obviously. Sound enters the ear, triggers the release of stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline, and activates the nervous system.
Yeah, I think
increases heart rate, blood pressure, inflammation in the body. We are doomed.
It's lethal if noise enters through any other orifice apart from the ears. That could be fucking fatal, couldn't it? There's a party going down the road and all the sounds entering up your arse.
We went of all the orifices. We went to the traditional orifice of Ian. One thing I do sometimes when I'm really pissed off on a train when someone's playing music is join in. It's my favourite passage. Just when someone's playing, just go. Because they can't prove that you're doing it to their music, you see.
I mean, the thing is that unwanted noise or unwanted sound becomes noise, and that is a kind of litter. I mean, it's all pollution, isn't it? Yeah, it's despoiling your environment. But the one big difference is that they take it home, and the litterers don't.
Yes, that's true.
And the other thing, I remember Nigel fucking Farage moaning about being on a train and only hearing people on the phone in conversations in foreign language. And my first reaction was, God, that sounds absolutely blissful. I cannot bear to get sucked into someone else's one-sided conversation. And if it's in a language I don't understand, that's great, because I don't know how to get involved orally or any other way. I thought, that sounds great. Jabbering on, I've got a fucking clue. Whereas if it's in English, it's like, I don't care what you did on your fucking holiday. I don't care if you just got dumped by Stacey. It's not fuck off. None of my business.
There's people actually having those, the conversations on their phones, and they're just, somebody's blaring at one end and they're blaring on the bus, just shouting and bawling or having a massive argument with their boyfriend or whatever it might be. And you just think, for Christ's sake, man, wait till you get off the bus before you have this shouting match in my ear hole.
Yeah.
I blame The Apprentice, because before The Apprentice, people put their phones to their ears. But now, exactly.
You're absolutely right. You are right.
Yes, I've shit my pants. I'll be home in a minute. I'd like a divorce.
It's true. It is The Apprentice. You're right about that.
It's weird. Different languages, though. Conversations in different languages. One of my favourite things, me and the wife, we like to watch programmes in languages we do not understand, like Scottish Gaelic. I'm obsessed with BBC albums. Oh, it's just wonderful. It's basically a loop tape of some people on stage playing the accordion, and every so often an interview with some people who worked in a factory, which for some reason was in Bradford, but they all speak Scots Gaelic. I totally reckon it's ambient TV. It should be called BBC Ambient.
Just typing a little comment on that, saying, I absolutely love David Quantick talking about listening to Gaelic. I've lost both my legs and I'm in a nursing home. And that's my favourite. That's my treat of an afternoon. We all gather around the Gaelic fucking wireless.
Yeah, it's brilliant. Sometimes we watch S4C, which Jenna speaks a little bit of Welsh, but S4C is a lot more racy. There's a lot of
racist.
Racist. S4C. It's Britain's premier regional station. I'll probably get in trouble now for saying it's regional. National television station. It gave us Super Ted, possibly, and the Manic Street Preachers.
Super Ted.
My guest today are the Manic Street Preachers. Hello, Super Ted.
Loved hearing the reference to Super Ted in the Old Fools podcast. I thought it always used to make me cry when in the intro they said they threw him away like a piece of rubbish. Did you see that item of news the other day that said
Did you see
marriage?
that item of news the other
Yeah.
day?
I'll tell you what.
I found a fruitcake in the gutter. Help the old veterans, sir. Penny in the tin.
Actually, I might as well just go straight to comment without even doing it. Loved
go
the
straight to comment.
loved Ian referencing the recent survey. It said marriage triples the risk of obesity for men, but doesn't affect women. So thanks very much, my missus. The culprit revealed at last.
I heard Lorraine Kelly talking about that, and she was saying that she blamed it on her husband. He did all the cooking, and he always presented her with what she called desperate Dan portions that she could never handle, but he scoffed the lot. You do desperate Dan portions, you fellas?
Yeah.
The watermelon.
Hi, just been listening to the Old Fools. Love David Quantick's mentioning the watermelon because I couldn't see it at home because it's a podcast. Brilliant.
Normally, I'm energised by this show, but Ian's relentless comments on his own comments without any actual content.
That reminds me, you two are not going to believe this, right? I was listening to this show, I think 2 weeks ago, and was walking along the road, and suddenly my email, no, that was it, and you were laughing your head off about car seat headrest.
Ian was.
Oh, yeah.
Ian was laughing his head off about it.
You will have heard of them. Everybody in the world's heard of people except me. Car seat headrest.
Okay. That is the last band name in the shop.
And an email pinged in out of nowhere, and it was the PR letting me know about Car Seat Headrest's new single or album, whatever it was.
No
At
way.
exactly the moment when you were laughing your head
Oh
off.
my God, that's creepy.
That is
That is a
spooky.
true story. Isn't that really, really weird?
Yeah, it was weird. Have you got any band-related supernatural stories, David Quantick?
No, I mean, I did once watch an episode.
Excellent.
I did once watch, I'm not going to stop now, I've been opened, and I'll go off in the fridge. I did once watch an episode of Ghost Watch in which Happy Mondays were frightened of everything, and it was wonderful. Basically, somebody would drop a coin and they go, fuck! But there was an hour of it. It was just people dropping coins and Bez going, fuck!
I remember that. It was very funny.
They really got into it. Also, they might have been in a condition to be amenable to suggestions of ghost activity.
Yeah. What band do you hate the most, Sylvia?
Red Hot
Band.
Chili Peppers. Can't be doing with them.
Not even the Red Hot Chili Peppers like the Red Hot Chili Peppers.
What about you? Any bands that you absolutely loathe and despise, or just too many to mention?
All of them, everything. I don't like anything. It can all get to fuck. Yeah, my missus, who got me fat, by the way, because it triples the risk of obesity, doesn't like the Beatles. I mean, properly can't stand to have the Beatles on in the house. She doesn't like the Simpsons. I don't think she likes anything plural. I think
Right.
that's a problem.
Does she like Sly and the Family Stone?
In moderation.
Can't help feeling that we're in a sort of spacecraft spiraling away from our solar system into
Yeah.
the empty waste of nothing as Ian tries to think of the bands that his wife doesn't like. And the last signal from Voyager now. I think she likes the Dooleys.
I was doing this list of stuff that it was a list of 50 things that I've learned about being with someone for 50 years.
Oh, that's nice.
And it was this idea that people have got, the marriage advice on the internet. I stumbled across this guy who'd been married for 7 years. And he was saying it's like a lifetime. And believe me, he was saying quite confidently, that band that she didn't like, that you love, eventually she'll love them because she loves you. Fuck off. I remember one of the first things my missus said to me when we first got together. I was playing Captain Beefheart at the time, and she came in and said, "Fuck me, what's this shit?" And
I'll never forget. She came in and she said, "Fuck me, what's this shit?"
Yeah, and 50 years later, I was playing Captain Beefheart, and she came in from shopping and said, "Oh no, not this fucking shit." So yeah.
Every 50 years you try this on me, Ian.
Yeah, every fucking time.
Sylvia, is there any music in your household which will not be countenanced by another?
You see, the thing is, it used to be Bob Dylan, but I'm kind of coming round to it after all these thousands of years.
Early Bob, middle Bob, late Bob.
Oh, you've woken Ian up now.
It was the wheedling early stuff. I couldn't get with the wheedly early stuff, but the 70s stuff, he's a bit country. I'm having a bit of that. Mind you, when it's a bit of a party for one, say it's midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning, then it goes a bit Stump.
Stump.
The
indie band of the C86.
Ah, right.
They were sort of like a novelty version of The Fall.
Oh, right, it's a band. Sorry, I thought you meant. I thought you were saying. I thought you were saying. But the thing is, around midnight, Bob Dylan goes a bit Stump. And I was going, what the fuck does that mean?
Is this the modern slang, like yeet?
I'm not listening to this. He's gone Stump.
Do you like Taylor Swift? No, she's a bit Stump.
Maybe it's slang for sell out. She sold out. Or whatever. Yeah, I used to love them in the early days, but they went right Stump. As soon as they started playing arenas, for me, it was all over. Stump Central. Oh, yeah, Bob Dylan, he's gone Stump.
You've been listening, possibly, to The Old Fools, starring me, David Quantick, with Ian Martin. Say something, Ian.
Oh, fuck.
I'm Stump.
Stump, I've gone Stump.
Oh, I'll keep going. With Ian Martin and the absolutely fantastic and by no means Stump, Sylvia Patterson. Thank you very much. We got a website or something. You can write to us. All kinds of shit.
All complaints welcome.
Like, review, subscribe, share, adore.
Stump.
Stump! It ain't over till the fat pensioner sings.
Get it, go.